My name is Iain Scholnick. I'm the CEO of ImageSpan. We're going to talk to you today about LicenseStream, which is our core technology. It's a web distributed licensing platform. The idea is to make licensing digital content easier. What you want to do is make more content, more money with your content today. Your content sits in a catalog, it's usually offline. It's not making you any money. That's what we do. It seems simple because it is. The problem is content isn't easy to license today. It's very difficult. A lot of manual transactions. I think most of you are aware of that. How do you reduce the friction, put your content out on the web, put it out safely? We run as a managed service, so you can call our system, like you could call a Google search, for example. You could use an API, you could use a widget interface. How you want to work, we're willing to work with you. The idea is for you to sell your content across any digital network. Not license your content, not sell it across any digital network. There's a real fundamental difference. When you sell, it's a one-time handshake. When you license, you can have many different prices for your piece of content. This cool image is what we see as the internet today. You've got a tremendous amount of opportunity at the nexus of search, content, community, and advertising. It's where the money's today. It's the revenue core of the internet. There's a tremendous amount of distribution velocity when you're in this nexus. People share between Facebook, MySpace, Flickr, Photobook. You've all seen this. Use Google. Advertising follows it. So does the community. What you want to do is you find out that your content flows into this nexus very, very quickly. You actually suffer from what's called network effect, which is really just the ability to people share very quickly, to find it very quickly, to pass it through the network very quickly. So you have a large amount of your content flowing in, but the amount of revenues you're actually capturing is quite small. There's actually no way to handshake with your content. There's no way to actually grab it, find out where it is, who's using it, how to talk to it, how to talk back. So you end up losing a lot of lost revenue opportunities. And the reason why is why we're here. There's a real overdependence on e-commerce, and probably just because historically e-commerce engines, which are great, came out first. But if you think about the internet and the core of the internet, it's manual. And what I mean by that is the exchange of premium media, media that you own, that you license, whether you're a professional photographer or whether you're Disney. And I've talked to them both. They both have the same problem. How do you manage a license transaction? If you look at the e-commerce, it's a single buy camera. It's great. Buy it on Amazon, even better. You exchange, that's it. Now, how do you do it for imaging on 5 different websites where you have to have 5 different groups, you have to split the advertising royalties? It's very, very complex. Somewhere behind it, there's a lawyer, there's a bunch of spreadsheets, and some people manually processing it. What happens is you start to rank your business deals. I can only do the $100,000 deal. I don't want to do the $5,000 deal because it's costing me money to do that deal. You walk away from 5 or 6 or 10 $5,000 deals, it starts to add up. You want to automate this process, you want to make it efficient, and you want to be able to track it and audit it. So what we do is we create something called a license token. And the goal is to make your content intelligent. And that's really our tagline as a company, powering intelligent content. We want to drop your raw content through what we call the funnel, add on information to empower ownership, empower licensing, and empower royalties. The goal here is that your content can flow out into the web and start to order provision, which really just means people can find it, right-click on it, and call a licensing event. The other thing you want to do is you want to order police your content. Most of you, or all of you, have heard of things like fingerprinting, content tracking. It's great stuff. There's concepts like TinEye, there's PicScout. They're great technologies. The problem is, what's the context for the transaction? So I found your content. Now what do you do? How much of your content, what's it worth? Which websites? What's the revenue leakage over a market space? What's the revenue leakage against a demographic? What you want to do is you want to combine tracking with licensing so you get a spread of your content. You know who's using it, how they're using it, why they're using it, and then you want to market against them because people who are not paying you are also customers, potentially. You've got to convert them. So what we try to do is make your content intelligent so it can order police and it can order provision. This is not the recycling logo. This is actually what we call the intelligent content lifecycle. Plus, which is a picture licensing universe system. Some of you might know Jeff Sedlick, some of you might know the Plus system. It's a license registry. It allows you to register your content. We're actually the technical layer behind it. We're committed to it because once we know who owns this content, the provenance, if you will, we can roll back a licensing payment very, very quickly, a royalty payment. I can't pay you if I don't know who you are, and I can't prove that you're owed that payment if I don't know who you are. Licensing commerce itself, it's a complex system. It's ugly. It's why people avoid it. What we've done is make it simple. The goal here is to put a really nice user interface and change that user interface based on the customer. Frankly, Disney will have a different interface than an individual creator, even though the same problems are what you see in this cycle. I want to be able to license. I want to be able to collect royalties. And I want to police my content. I want to see who's using it. I'm not going to look for your content in outer Mongolia. I'm going to look for it on ad networks. I'm going to look at it on the top Alexa rankings, because that's where your content's going to be. Someone's going to be using it to drive a blog, someone's going to be using it to drive a community, or someone's going to be using it in some way you haven't approved. And if you think it doesn't happen, 90% of content is taken. And on average, for example, for a writer, if you make $100,000 worth of your content, another set of people making $150,000 with that same piece of content. That's what's happening today. So I want to find your content, because I fingerprinted it, and then I want to do what we call a usage remedy or a content remedy. We automate a series of emails to these folks. Hey, do a link back. Hey, could you take down the content? You owe me some money, here's the link, click on it, license my content. Or how about an ad share? And you get a lot of remedy comments from that. So what you see here is a full life cycle for content. Some of this technology we don't own. Some of it we just integrate, some of it we do. The point is to integrate it into a complete cycle. Because right now content is created in a silo. It's provisioned in another cycle, it's licensed. Royalties are collected in another. Tracking occurs in another. And the remedy occurs in another. It should be done in one seamless interface, and one seamless play. And the reason why we want to do that is we want to take advantage of network effect. We want to capture that genie in the bottle. That's the lightning. That's what you want. If you can have your content bounce around this popcorn, like popcorn in a popper, in the middle, people are going to use it, they're going to find it, they're going to click on it, they're going to talk to you. And as you saw Time Life Books yesterday publish their catalog, 2 million images to Google. Why did they do that? Because people are using search and keywords to find it. They're going to right-click on it. Can they license it? No, not yet. What they can do is do a print. You should be able to license it. People should be able to take this content and put it into a catalog of their own content, mix it together. These issues need to be tracked and air traffic controlled. And at the core of our platform, that's what we do. We're atomizing the content so it can exist where the distribution occurs today. Whether we like it or not, it's not occurring in the portals. It's occurring in this nexus of audience and community and search. We need to adapt the content to exist in this ecosystem atmosphere, if you will. We have a number of ways to work. One of the things we do, we're actually funded by Bertelsmann Media. Some of you might be familiar with that company. It's a very large media group. We give people any content. We have our own client. You can have a branded client. You can pre-store it, cache it with all the content you want in the world, old catalogs, new catalogs. Interesting fact always kind of makes me fascinated. Pink Floyd is one of the most popular catalogs in the world still, after many, many years ago. But you won't see it today in the stores, but it certainly would sit great in a catalog for Pink Floyd fans. Let them search on Pink Floyd, they'll click, they'll find this catalog, they can buy it, they can mix it with their own songs. What you get is the ability to use Google and search and Facebook as a distribution partner. And you untether your content from your silos and you publish it out. And you can do it safely. You can do low-res versions. You can run it you can take advantage of controlled play. You can disable the image, you can disable the video, you can allow people to, when they've paid or distributed it, paid for the distribution, you can release the high version or the premium version of the content. People go to iTunes for a very narrow licensing model. You shouldn't be able to just go to iTunes for a 99-cent song. You should find your content anywhere, and the buyer should be able to say, this is what I want to use the content for. I want to provision it for a TV advertisement for a local Bay Area TV ad. I want to put it into a PowerPoint. I want to put this image into a regional movie. It doesn't matter. The point is, you should be able to find it and license it very, very quickly. And that's what we're designed to do. This client allows anyone to do it. You can use ours, you can use yours, you can brand it. It just allows you to package your content and put it out there. You also want to do something very, very obvious. You want to take all that content, all those distribution points, all those event triggers where people are buying content, and you want to roll it up into a dashboard. You want to see who's paying you, when they're paying you. You want to collect the revenues. The reason why you want to do that is obvious. You want to get paid. But it also allows you a view of your content. And at that point, you can take that information, that data, and you can pass it to an ACH, a clearinghouse. You can write a paper statement, a billing statement. Those are very important things, regardless of who you're dealing with. Your client can get a paper statement. You can do clearinghouse. So what we've tried to do through this metaphor of a license token is to embed the workflow for content from every independent silo and link them together and allow you to publish it. And we're doing this today. You can go Google-based, click on an ImageSpan, click on an image, come back, you'll license it. That's just our demo example. You can do it with any kind of content. You can mix and match content. Content tends to exist in combination. So that's ImageSpan, that's what we do. That's licensing intelligence.